Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're looking into the really interesting world of ready-to-drink coffee and tea, RTD.
That's right. We've got some fresh research here from Cognitive Market Research, actually just published April 23rd, 2025.
So, pretty current stuff.
Exactly. And our goal today, really, is to get past the headline numbers. We want to understand what's actually happening in this market. It's expanding so fast.
Yeah, definitely want to know who the big players are, but also, what's really driving all this growth?
Well, the growth itself is pretty impressive. You look at 2024, the market was valued at, USD 105.28 billion.
Wow. Okay.
And it's projected to climb up to USD 175.55 billion by 2032.
That's huge. What's the growth rate on that?
It works out to a CAGR, compound annual growth rate, of about 6.60%.
Okay, 6.60%. So, what is the engine here? What's pushing these numbers up?
Well, it seems to be a mix of things coming together. Convenience is obviously a massive factor. People's lives are just packed.
Right. Need some quick.
Totally. But it's not just speed. There's this huge, growing focus on health and wellness kicking in. People are actually looking for drinks that fit their health goals.
Ah, so it's not just caffeine anymore.
Not at all. And then, layered on top of that, you've just got constant innovation, new products hitting the shelves all the time.
Yeah, the research backs that up. Urbanization, busier lifestyles, you mentioned those. But it's also about expectations changing, right?
Yeah.
People want more from their drink now.
Exactly. They want ready-to-go stuff, sure, but with extra benefits. Functional ingredients are becoming a really big deal.
Like, what kind of functional ingredients are we talking about?
Things like antioxidants, for cell protection, probiotics for gut health are showing up more, even adaptogen stuff that supposedly helps your body handle stress.
Interesting. So adding these things helps brands stand out.
Absolutely. It's a key differentiator. And beyond that, the report mentions more natural sweeteners being used. Plant-based milk alternatives are really, really taking off.
Oh, yeah. Oat milk lattes everywhere.
Right. And just the sheer variety of new flavors, it's quite something.
And it's not just the liquid inside, is it? The packaging matters, too.
Definitely. Packaging tech is moving forward. More recyclable bottles, sustainable cartons. Consumers are paying attention to that stuff now. Brands have to respond.
Makes sense. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. Geographically, where's the action hottest for RTDs?
Well, it varies a bit. Asia-Pacific is huge for RTD tea. Think Japan, China, South Korea. They have such a strong tea culture already.
So RTD just fits right in.
Exactly. Fits the modern lifestyle there perfectly.
And coffee. Where's RTD coffee booming?
That's more North America and Europe showing really significant growth, driven by things like cold brew, nitro coffee.
The fancy stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And just generally more demand for premium iced coffee options. The coffee culture there is just embracing the convenience and the sort of premium feel of RTDs.
Okay, so we've got this big growing market. How do researchers, like in this report, actually figure out which companies are doing well? What metrics do they look at?
Cognitive market research uses a pretty thorough approach. Obviously, revenue and market share are basic indicators. Financial health, consumer reach.
So, yeah, how big they are, basically.
Yeah, how much of the pie they have. But then there's product diversity. That's really important.
Meaning how many different kinds of drinks they offer.
Yeah. Dairy-based, plant-based, functional drinks, sugar-free. The leading brands usually cover a lot of bases to hit different consumer needs and, diets.
Okay, so variety matters.
Yeah.
And I guess constantly creating new stuff is vital, too.
Oh, absolutely. Innovation in the actual product formula is key to staying ahead. The report mentions examples like coffee with collagen added,
Collagen coffee.
matcha-based drinks, even CBD-infused tea is mentioned.
Yeah.
These really novel things grab attention, tap into specific health interests, or just offer something totally different.
CBD tea.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, and what about, the tech behind making and bottling these?
Yeah, technology is a factor. Things like better cold brew methods, aseptic packaging. That's the stuff that gives long shelf life without needing lots of preservatives. Those things boost quality and keep customers happy.
Right. And you could have the best drink ever, but if people can't buy it, distribution must be critical.
Totally critical. Having a strong distribution network is essential, not just in the big established markets, but also pushing into emerging ones. The report calls out Southeast Asia and Latin America as high potential areas.
So it's about reach, getting it everywhere.
Exactly. Which kind of leads into the next point, investment in R&D.
Research and development.
Right. Companies putting money into finding better ingredients, nailing new flavor profiles, developing eco-friendly packaging. they tend to get an edge.
And I bet they don't do it all alone, right? Partnerships must be important.
Very important. Strategic partnerships, maybe with plantations for sourcing, definitely with big retailers or e-commerce sites for reach.
And online stuff, too. Digital marketing.
Oh yeah, huge now. Collaborating with influencers, maybe trying direct-to-consumer models online. It helps build a community, connect directly with customers. It's really a whole package of strategies the top companies use.
Okay, that gives us a really good picture of how companies are sized up.
Yeah.
So let's name names. Who are the current big dogs in the global RTD market?
Right. According to this report, the top five, based on market share, are Nestlé, then the Coca-Cola Company, PepsiCo, Unilever, and Suntory Holdings Limited. Those are the current giants.
Okay, let's take Nestle first. Market leader, 18.5% share, roughly USD 7.8 billion revenue in 2023. Huge. What's their secret sauce?
Well, Nestle has just built this massive global presence. Brands everyone knows like Nescafe, Nespresso, Nestea. They're strong everywhere. North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, and pushing into Latin America and the Middle East.
And strategically, what are they focusing on?
The report highlights their focus on innovation, but also premiumization, making things feel a bit more upscale. Plus, hitting those health trends, plant-based lattes, cold brews with added protein, low-sugar versions.
And sustainability seems to be a running theme today. Nestle too.
Oh, yeah. Big focus on recyclable packaging, ethically sourced ingredients. That's becoming table stakes almost.
Right.
And that joint venture they have with Starbucks for RTDs, that's been a huge boost for their market access.
Right. Okay, next. Coca-Cola. Still massive at 16.2% share, about USD 6.9 billion revenue. Think of Coke for sodas, but they're clearly big here too.
Absolutely. Coca-Cola's superpower is that incredible distribution network. They've used it really effectively for brands like Georgia Coffee, Gold Peak Tea, Honest Tea, very strong in Asia, North America, Europe, and they're expanding elsewhere too.
And their strategy? Similar themes.
Pretty similar in some ways. Aggressive expansion, definitely. Lots of product innovation, organic teas, herbal infusions, cold brew, nitro coffee. They're covering those trends.
And sustainability efforts.
Yep. Significant investments there, too. Sustainable sourcing, better packaging. And like Nestle, they do collaborations, work with coffee chains, and push their e-commerce game.
Okay, hot on their heels is PepsiCo. 14.8% share, USD 6.3 billion revenue. They got some powerhouse brands as well.
They really do. The big one is that partnership for Starbucks RTD coffee.
Yeah.
Plus Pure Leaf Tea and Lipton Iced Tea, that's a joint venture with Unilever, actually. They dominate in North America, Europe, Asia, and are growing in Latin America and Africa.
And their product focus, leaning into health too.
Very much so. Diversifying into healthier stuff. Organic teas, cold brews with probiotics, even functional energy teas.
That Starbucks deal seems crucial for their coffee side.
Absolutely critical for that premium coffee offering. And again, like the others, investing in sustainable sourcing and packaging. It's a clear industry-wide push.
Right. Moving to Unilever. 12.4% share, USD 5.1 billion revenue, mostly from tea, right? Lipton is practically synonymous with tea for many.
Exactly. Unilever's strength here is really built on Lipton and Pure Leaf. Strong in Europe, Asia Pacific, North America, and they're expanding in Latin America and the Middle East. Their focus, definitely health and wellness innovation.
Like sugar-free options, organic.
Yep. Sugar-free organic herbal teas. And interestingly, they're starting to edge into sustainable, plant-based coffee, too, under some of their newer wellness brands.
And ethical sourcing must be big for a tea giant like Unilever.
Huge commitment there. Sustainable tea farming, ethical sourcing. Plus, they're really working all retail channels, including more e-commerce and direct-to-consumer sales.
Okay, rounding out the top five. Suntory Holdings Limited, 11.6% share, USD 4.8 billion revenue. Maybe less of a household name globally, but clearly a major player, especially in Asia.
Definitely. Suntory is a Japanese powerhouse. Big in Asia Pacific with brands like Boss Coffee and IM Green Tea. Think Japan, China, Southeast Asia. But they are expanding into North America and Europe, too.
And what are they known for?
Premium quality. They really focus on authentic flavors, often lower sugar, sometimes functional benefits. Boss Coffee is super popular, especially their canned coffee and cold brew.
And I assume they're also investing in sustainability.
You guessed it. Big investments in sustainable manufacturing, eco-friendly packaging. They also have some advanced brewing techniques that help their quality, and they use strategic partnerships effectively.
Okay, so these five, Nestle, Coke, Pepsi, Unilever, Suntory, they have a solid grip. But things change fast.
Yeah.
Does the report talk about threats to their dominance? Is the competition heating up?
It absolutely does. That's a key point. While these five lead now, there's definitely increasing pressure from others. Companies like Asahi Group, Starbucks itself, obviously, Monster Energy, Danone, even Arizona Beverages, they're all fighting for more market share.
And are there even newer companies shaking things up? Startups.
Oh, yes. The report specifically calls out a few. Califia Farms, they've done really well with plant-based RTD coffees, hitting that dairy-free demand hard.
Right, I've seen them.
Peet's Coffee, known for their quality beans, they're in the RTD game now with premium cold brews. Ito En, the Japanese company, pushing their authentic green tea RTDs globally. And others like Suntory Beverage and Food, a related but distinct part of Suntory, and Nongfu Spring are making moves too.
It sounds like a lot of these newer entrants are maybe focusing on specific niches or angles.
That's often the strategy, yeah. Really innovative formulas targeting specific needs, maybe a heavy focus on sustainability in their packaging, or really sharp targeted marketing to reach certain groups.
Okay, besides new competitors, what other big challenges are facing even these established top 5 players?
Well, one massive challenge is that rising tide of health consciousness we talked about. Consumers actively want low-sugar, functional, organic options. The big guys have to adapt their huge existing lines to meet that demand without alienating current customers.
That sounds like a tricky balancing act.
It really is, and tied into that is more regulatory pressure. Governments in many places are scrutinizing sugar levels, artificial additives.
Right, sugar taxes and things like that.
Exactly, so companies have to navigate that. And then there's the ever-present sustainability issue.
No.
Packaging waste, carbon footprint. Pressure is mounting on all brands, big and small, to clean up their act.
So it's a tough market to break into, but also tough to stay on top. For a new company wanting to jump in, what advice does the report offer? How can they actually succeed against these giants?
The report lays out some clear guidelines, first off. Innovation, branding, and distribution. Gotta nail those. Need a unique selling point.
Like those unique formulas. Plant-based creamers, adaptogens.
Precisely. Offer something different. Maybe use adaptogens, nootropics, brain boosters. That can attract specific groups. And really lean into organic, sustainable sourcing. That builds trust, appeals to conscious consumers.
And in today's world, they need a strong online game, right?
Absolutely essential. E-commerce, direct-to-consumer, DTC. It lets startups bypass some traditional retail hurdles, connect directly with people through personalized marketing. Subscription boxes, maybe. Curated selections, limited editions. That builds loyalty.
What about marketing beyond their own site? Influencers.
Yeah, influencer marketing is huge. Partnering with the right social media voices, health experts, coffee or tea gurus, that builds awareness and credibility fast.
Okay, and getting the actual product out there. Distribution for a newbie.
Need to be smart about it. Sure, try for retail shelves, but also look at convenience stores, maybe vending machines and busy spots, specialty cafes, even fitness centers, co-working spaces, corporate wellness programs, places where their target audience might be.
So, thinking outside the supermarket aisle.
Exactly, and offer different packaging formats, single cans, multi-packs, eco-cartons. Flexibility helps. Really, it comes down to a multi-pronged approach.
It sounds like success for newcomers really hinges on being innovative, health-focused, sustainable, and smart about reaching people.
That's the core message, yeah. Consistent innovation, real commitment to sustainability, and well-planned expansion strategies are what will make the difference.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up then. What are the big takeaways from this deep dive into RTD coffee and tea?
Well, number one, the market's booming, no question, driven by convenience and that health wave. Number two, a few big players dominate right now,
But the landscape is shifting.
Exactly. New innovative companies are definitely emerging and challenging the status quo. And number three, success, whether you're big or small, really depends on nailing product innovation, getting serious about sustainability, and having smart digital and physical distribution plans.
That sums it up nicely. Okay, so thinking about all this, the speed of change, the focus on health, on sustainability, here's something to chew on. How might personalized RTD beverages change things?
Personalized, like made for individual needs.
Yeah, tailored to your specific nutritional requirements, your flavor preferences, maybe even your health goals for the day. Could that disrupt the market even further in the next few years? And what kind of tech would make that actually possible on a large scale?
That is a really interesting question. Personalization.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a game changer.
Definitely something to think about. Well, this has given us a great snapshot of where the RTD coffee and tea market is right now. As always, there's so much more you could explore: specific brands, regional nuances, the science behind those functional ingredients.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating space.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.